What's going on, everyone? We're back with another video. We have our iced coffee here, and then today I'm going to talk about something that's very important. I was thinking about this today because if I've had this idea when I was recovering from tinnitus, there's someone probably watching that has the same thought. And that thought was, what if I don't recover? What if I don't habituate? What if I don't stop hearing it? What then? And here's how I handled that thought, because when I was in it, I didn't have the luxury of hindsight. Meaning, I didn't know. It was just me in this reality I was experiencing. It was very terrifying. It was very real. It was very, at the time, before I began to shift my awareness to another perspective, it was unsustainable. And so the thought, well, what if it doesn't last? Like, what if it doesn't go away? What if I don't heal? What if I can't get past this? It was very real. And here's how I handled that, okay? I believed that deep down I was going to be okay, even if I didn't know how. So there was two dualities that I was experiencing in this. On the one hand, it was everything I was seeing physically and feeling and experiencing that were terrifying me with the sounds, and it was so loud, and I really couldn't get sleep, and it was just, I felt like I was going to be stuck like that forever. Those were my thoughts were telling me that, and it was very scary. I was getting triggered. I was agitated. My quality of life sucked. Okay? On the left side, something deeper. There was peace. Something deeper was just sustaining me. Call it God. Whatever you want, I call it God. And it was telling me, don't give up. This is going to be okay. So you have two things here. One is your experience, your thoughts. It's very real, and it's telling you that you're hopeless. The other is God, and he's holding you in love, in peace, in infinity. So God is he whispers, very soft, very faint. Most people miss it. Why do they miss it? Because they have too much noise in their life. Like I said, people got apps blasting all the time. They're working, they're running, they're doing, going, blah, 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 blah. They don't ever sit down and listen to the voice of God. What's God's voice sound like? It's silence. The still small voice in the Bible, be still and know that I am God. That's silence. Most people don't ever get alone with God. They don't ever sit in the silence. Because of that, they don't know what God sounds like. So when God's trying to say you're not hopeless, everything's going to be okay, I am with you, we're going to get through this, they don't hear it. They only hear their own mind telling them that they're hopeless and they're doomed. So I'd spent enough time. I should have spent more, but I guess I spent enough to where I was able to hear the voice of God tell me I'm going to be okay, and I was then able to believe it, and that kept me going. That kept me in the race. That kept me from giving up, because I believed that the deeper truth wasn't that I was hopeless. It's that the best days of my life were ahead of me. I believed that. I had no evidence. All of my thoughts were telling me the exact opposite. All of my feelings were telling me the exact opposite. But I just believed I was going to be okay. I didn't know how. And I did have a little bit of steps to walk out through meditation, through grounding exercises, through allowing myself to experience the sound and not freak out. So it wasn't like I was shooting blind in the dark. But to answer that question, I didn't 100% know. It wasn't like I'm sitting in this place now, fully recovered, fully, what, God was right? Go figure. But, that at the time, that voice telling me I'm going to be okay was very faint. It was a whisper. I would have missed it. And I think that in a lot of areas of my life, I have missed it. And that's one of the reasons why I went to the Philippines, was because the noise is way lower. How is the noise way lower? Well, the internet's not as good. There's not the technology that's there that is here. Less TVs in the houses. The TVs aren't as big. There's brownouts, so a day out of the week the electricity just turns off, the internet turns off. People go to the waterfalls, people go on the beach. So there's a nature culture there. There's a culture of living in reality, and in America we never have a brownout in America. A brownout? My God. That would be pandemonium. So we never disconnect. Because we never disconnect from ourselves, we never connect to God. That's why America's completely spiritually bankrupt. That's why cancer's on the rise. Because when you're disconnected from God, you're disconnected from yourself. Your central nervous system is offline. You're vibrating at a very low frequency. You're working, you're worrying, you're doing all the things you don't want to do. Everyone just wants to be at peace. True peace. Okay? That's what everyone wants. They want to be in peace. That's why Jesus says, I will give you rest for your soul. It's what we all long for. We get that when we unplug, we get into nature, and we just sit. We just sit. And you think, and do nothing? See, that's the thing. To the world, rest is laziness, but to God, rest is everything. We are created to rest in Him, to exist as children with God. What does the Father want from His children? To just be with His kids, man. That's it. That's all of it. That's what it is. That's what it's been about. And when you are with God, the Father, all of your fears begin to melt. Not instantly. It takes time, but they melt. And you begin to see the path of hope, the path of love, and you begin to walk that out and wake up one day and you realize, wow, God was right. I was wrong. Go figure. Anyway, if you like this video, share it with someone. Anyway, you want to work with me, hit the link below. I'll talk to you later. Peace.